Video from Bloodhound Blog, Unchained in Phoenix, 2008. Brought to you by Zillow.com. Video courtesy of BrokerIPTV.com.
Hello, everyone. We're here at Bloodhound Blog's Unchained event in Phoenix, Arizona at the Herd Museum, and of course sponsored by Zillow.com. And of course I have the great pleasure of having David Gibbons with me here from Zillow.com. Welcome, David.
Hi, Mark.
You were just in there with Brian Brady,
Yeah.
and heard what he was talking about. Anything that struck you, or what's your thoughts and views on where we're going with social media?
Yeah, it's been an interesting morning. I think both Greg and Brian. Greg leading with, I think, best principles in social media marketing, which I really enjoyed. I think it's important to know where you're starting from, what your goal is. But Brian's just followed up with a whole lot of practical advice. I think Brian has helped people to see LinkedIn through new eyes. I learned a lot about the meetup.com website through Brian. And so he's been giving tangible examples for the last hour or so about different tools online that either real estate agents or mortgage brokers could be using to promote their products and their services. I don't know if you know Brian, but he's probably one of the most prolific mortgage brokers online. You will find him in nearly every single social community on the internet. And so he was just explaining how that's worked for his business and how you can do the same thing. I thought it was a really powerful session, though.
Absolutely. I think probably one of the more relevant thoughts to being on all those sites is the fact that if you actually go and search Brian Brady's name, all those sites, his name, everything shows up, relevancy in the first 2-3 pages.
Absolutely.
Just in Brian Brady.
Yeah, Brian's got an incredible presence. He understands that you're never going to make every single real estate consumer in your area find your website. You can't force them to find your website. So if they're not finding your website, go where they are. And often you can do this without even the cost of investing in having a website yourself. So this can actually be a very low-cost marketing exercise. Start a profile on every single one of the popular communities that are used by people in your area. And then just hang out there and be the real estate guy. Brian explained how to be the mortgage guy in a community that talks about social networking, or to be the mortgage guy in a community that gets together and does a lot of mountain biking in Phoenix, for example. I thought that was a great example.
Speaking of Web 2.0 communities, what kind of usage and what are you seeing on Zillow?
Zillow has become a fantastic tool for social media marketing. It ranges all the way from, if you have a bunch of listings, you can advertise your listings for free on Zillow. But beyond that, you can actually engage with buyers and sellers on the site. So buyers can actually ask you questions about your listings live on the website. But further than that, you can also get involved in discussions on the site that, sellers and even FSBOs, for example, might have questions. We're seeing realtors help out sellers in those scenarios. Everybody who's trying to sell a home right now has been sitting with their property for longer than they'd anticipated, and some realtors are hanging out in Zillow discussions, giving those people perspective on potentially changing their sale price, or redoing the decoration on the home, or whatever it might be, so as to speed up the sale. And so there's this dialogue happening between home buyers, home sellers, and real estate professionals on Zillow, in Zillow discussions, in home Q&A, and just through communicating listings on the site to buyers.
Yeah, absolutely. Really true transparency on Zillow. What are you seeing? How are your easy ads going? What's your usage been? Any success stories for agents out there using your easy ad program?
There's a realtor in Charlottesville who I'm not going to mention because he probably wouldn't like to be duplicated, but who's having a great success with Easy Ads. And what I've heard is that Easy Ads is performing for him a lot better than, for example, buying keywords on more general search sites. And what I'm hearing from realtors for whom Easy Ads are really working is that an Easy Ad customer is someone who's already, pre-qualified as looking for a home or selling a home or whatever it might be. So Easy Ads still working really well. where I've seen a huge pickup in easy ads as of late is actually with mortgage brokers. We launched a mortgage platform about 6 weeks ago now, the Mortgage Marketplace. It's basically a place for consumers to get free and anonymous mortgage quotes from lenders who quote them for free. And what's interesting is to see how the activity in that marketplace has improved the quality of the conversations in Zillow discussion. It has also translated to an increase in the number of people advertising via easy ads. So what we're seeing is that creating a place for people to do commerce like Zillow Mortgage Marketplace generates a much richer social interaction between real estate professionals, in this case mortgage brokers, and buyers and sellers.
Wow. Well, we appreciate your comments, David, and of course, all of us here at Unchained appreciate the sponsor by Zillow.com, and hopefully we can get a few other interviews with you.
Absolutely, I hope so. Thank you, Mark.
You bet. Stay tuned for more from Unchained.
You've been watching video from the Bloodhound blog, Unchained in Phoenix, brought to you by Zillow.com. For more information and interviews, check out BrokerIPTV.com.